Because every athlete deserves to be treated like a pro. Henry Ford Sports Medicine.
Talking about finances can be confusing, difficult, scary, murky even. But it doesn't have to be with Money Mentor by Michigan First Credit Union on your side. More than 90 years ago, Michigan First was founded on the principle of putting education first. Today, Money Mentor continues that tradition because affording the lifestyle you want isn't always easy. Check us out at MichiganFirstMoneyMentor.com or follow us on social media for tips, tricks, blogs, and videos today.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Don Riddler Fieldhouse on the campus of Lawrence Tech University. We've got college basketball coming your way right here on the LTU Sports Network as the Blue Devils open up conference play as they take on the Saints of Aquinas College. Thank you for joining us for this WAC matchup in Southfield. I'm John Snow with you on the call this evening. My partner is Jan Vilker. And Jan, Grace Howerton's team has only played 2 games thus far this year. They had an explosive start against Grace Christian University, and then they had a tough loss against Taylor University. Do you believe this team is ready for conference play?
I believe so. I think this is a Blue Devils team that we wanted to see. We wanted to see more aggressiveness. We want to see more hungry and more better than ever. This could be the team that definitely wants to run things through to the tournament. But this is going to be a tough task for the Blue Devils and, of course, for Grace Howerton to go forward for the 2022-23 season.
No, definitely. And the preseason polls came out. They had Lawrence Tech at number 4, and they had Aquinas just right behind them at number 5. Both these teams last year had a pretty much even season. Lawrence Tech had a conference record of 11-9 last year, and for Aquinas, the Saints, they had 10-10 conference at 500 overall. So both these teams are looking to get on the right track after having just a pretty much average season last year. And the amount of talent that's stacked on this roster for Grace Howerton, she cannot talk about them any more than what she has.
Absolutely. And, of course, when I saw them against a Grace Christian, they were definitely getting things going there right from the start. Of course, you got some great players there like Kendall Fisher, Maddie Long, Julia Huey. These are one of the key players that we will be looking forward to see for much to come this season.
Tip-off is off, and it's go right to Kendall Fisher, who's came back and elected to come back for a 5th year. Hands it off to Addie Nagel. Gives it away to Maggie Long, making another start for the Blue Devils this year. Now Jade Ferris at the top of the key. Gives it off to Fisher. Around the corner, quick jumper shot, and it's just off the rim. Scramble for the rebound, ball still loose, and coming away with it is Alexis Thomas. Now Thomas will bring it up. Quick pass out over to the elbow. That's Emily Klein. Now back up top for Thomas. Thomas directing traffic into the corner for Brian Miller. Miller against Fisher and trying to go off the glass and comes up empty. And definitely one of the keys going to this matchup, Jan, for Grace Howerton, as I talk to her momentarily, as we get a quick foul right here. This team needs to rebound. They only had 22 rebounds in their last matchup against Taylor University. This team is now averaging 37.5 rebounds per game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this team definitely there for rebound attempts there. And, of course, for Lawrence Tech, of course, they have definitely averaging, of course, 37.5 per game with a small amount of three rebounds. So they wanted to get things going there. They want to pick up some more rebounds as they needed to be for conference play.
There was a foul away from the ball as Julia Huey was going for a three-point attempt. And it goes against Aquinas. And so LTU will still have possession right here going from the sideline.
So foul is on Mariah Barnes from Grand Rapids.
Quick toss out. Maggie Long all the way around. And we get another foul away from the ball. And this time it'll be against Kendall Fisher. And now it's the Saints with the turnaround off the foul. So some early fouls going on, and we have yet to have a score. 2 fouls for Aquinas, and first foul of the day for LTU. And we got a travel called here as LTU was going for a half-court press, and it pays off as Alexis Thomas called for the walk.
Now this is going to be interesting because we've seen a couple of calls going the way, so things could get even interesting here in this game.
Grace Howerton described this Aquinas team as very scrappy. They like to move the ball around and they like to act fast. Definitely a different strategy than what they did last year. Now Fisher into traffic, quick pull-up jumper, and it's just off the mark. Rebounded by Thomas. Thomas against Fisher, lost the ball momentarily. Alexis Thomas out of New Boston, Michigan, went to Huron High School down in the downriver area. Up top of the key, for Brian Miller, hands it off, and now scramble for it. Huey, and now jump ball called, and possession goes with LTU. Shakari Alvin was in the mix there with Huey, and LTU comes up with the possession.
Nicely done by Julia Huey to try to get the ball from it. And I'll tell you, Julia Huey is definitely one of the key players there for this LTU side. Of course, she was 4 for 10 in field goal attempts. Helps in the last match. And then, of course, for Taylor, she was 3 for 10 in field goal attempt. So Julia Huey knows what she's got going on here.
We get yet another foul away from the ball as Jade Ferris is called for an illegal screen. And we go the other way with the Saints. That's already the second foul for LTU and 3 fouls already for Aquinas, and we have still yet to have a score in this game.
So Jade Ferris needs to be careful. She only got 1 foul in this game. And getting things aggressively.
Barnes down the middle for Alvin. Now driving down the lane and off the glass and in for the first bucket of the game is Emily Klein.
Emily Klein's so competitive there. Last game she had 4.4 rebounds and 3 assists into the game against IU Northwest.
Huey with the 3 ball off the mark, and it will roll out of bounds. So Aquinas with their first bucket. Now we'll get possession just right back.
And, of course, the last time these two teams met, of course, I called that game for that. LTU was feeling a little cold in that match. It was Aquinas going all the way, getting some buckets and taking it to the basket there. For LTU, they've been getting a lot of bricks lately in that last game in between these two. So this could be a different game.
Off the heel, anybody's ball, and Jade Ferris comes up with it.
And of course, you can see Coach Howard and Kendall Fisher.
Addie Nagel directing traffic, looking for somebody open, goes to Long, now goes across to Huey. Jade Ferris working hard down low, and the ball is knocked free and picked up by Klein. Puts it over for Miller. Miller back up top for Thomas. Pulls it up, and she's called for yet another travel.
Another traveling call on Alexis Thomas. And now we got some couple of subs.
Gabby Goff's coming in, and that's a great sign for LTU. Gabby Goff was out last year with an ACL injury, and she just feels great to be back. Gabby Goff, along with Julia Huey, Kylie Beatty, and Kendall Fisher, 4 senior leaders. Senior leadership was something that LTU did not have all of last year, and Grace Howerton's very proud of.
And of course, for Gabby Goff, she played 25 minutes in these last 2 games there. And of course, she played against Taylor. She was 2 for 5 in field goal attempts for LTU.
Another miscue and a takeaway by Alvin. Miller all the way down the middle, and the underneath try, no good. And down in a trap is Klein, and she's called for a travel, so LTU is able to go quickly on the defense, and they turn it into a turnover.
Man, what a triple team. What a triple team for LTU.
And quickly able to respond after that takeaway. And give Aquinas some credit, they have kept LTU outside the perimeter, and yet LTU is not taking many shots. Now it's Julia Huey trying to work down low. Now Fisher. Over to Addie Nagel. Try to go back out to an open person, and now it's taken away. Alvin will come up with it.
Let's not forget, this is a 2-0 game, and we only got 5:45 left to go here in the first.
Ball loose free, and Gabby Goff comes up with it. Isabel Riensmeyer checked into the game for Aquinas, and it will go with Aquinas as Addie Nagel was denied of that underneath shot.
And I thought Addie Nagel's shot was definitely blocked, but the last touch goes off of Addie Nagel.
We get subs aplenty coming in. Bailey Stevens checks in for LTU along with Abby Ray. And Jada Smith checks in for Aquinas.
Of course, Jada Smith, last game against Indiana Northwest, she had 1 assist and 1 steal in that game. And of course, before that, against Great Lakes Christian, she was 1 for 4 in field goal attempts and picked up a couple of points and a couple of rebounds. And let's not forget, against IU Northwest, they nearly overcame a 19-point deficit on Saturday, and this was the Saints' 3rd game in as many days, and they lost by 5.
That tells you the kind of team that this is going into into the conference play. As Goff working against Alvin. Stevens with a pickup, and she will go to the line. So first real opportunity to get on the board for LTU. Gabby Goff working really good, but Jakari Alvin denied it, and right there was Stevens to get the pickup.
So Bailey Stevens will head to the line. She was 0 for 3 in field goal attempts against Taylor while playing 15 minutes.
Not to go against the amount of talent that Grace Howerton has given her. She says that Bailey Stevens' quick shot, grab and go 3 is the best that she's seen in the entire conference.
And good thing she got some taste of college basketball against Grace Christian and against Taylor in the Blue Devil Classic.
Stevens misses both. Jada Smith hands it off, and it'll go out of bounds as it gets out of the reach of Brian Miller.
And of course, Brian Miller lost it on the handle there, but she'll become she's one of the key players for this Aquinas team. Of course, she picked up 13 points and 2 rebounds against Indiana Northwest. And then against Grace Christian, she picked up 12 points and 2 assists.
Maggie Long with a 3 ball. It's off the mark. Rebounded by Jada Smith as Aquinas went from a quick zone defense into a man-to-man coverage. Now a quick 3 opportunity is off the heel of Eliza Brown.
Blue Devils hoping they can tie up this game here.
Kendall Fisher just off the mark. It goes out of bounds, and it will go to the Aquinas Saints.
It goes last off of Bailey Stevens.
And now Kylie Beatty getting her first sign of action all year. She dealt with a bit of an elbow injury as she ran into the padded wall during a practice. So it's a great sign for LTU to have Kylie Beatty back on that court.
Yeah, Kylie Beatty was 42% in field goal attempts, 8 for 21 in 3-pointers, 55 for 70 in free throw attempts, and she picked up 41 assists, 47 steals, and 4 blocks.
Great awareness by Abby Ray. She's able to knock that one out of bounds, so this will be an inbound play from underneath for Aquinas.
So Brian Miller heads off to the bench to take a breather.
In the middle, now handed off, quick jumper try off the heel, rebounded by Alvin. Now a scramble forward. Ball is still loose. Now Smith and Stevens. A real scramble forward underneath the basket. They call a jump ball.
I think LTU got it.
Abby Ray looks like she got a shot right to the forehead. Possession will stay with Aquinas.
What a nice, tough play there for Abby Ray. She only played 7 minutes against Taylor. And then again, Grace Christian, she only picked up 9.6 rebounds and 1 steal. And of course, Abby Ray, one of the freshmen of this Blue Devil squad, will definitely got some taste of college basketball against Grace Christian.
Brianna Cruz checks in for Aquinas, along with Jenna Dasaki. Down low, handed off. Smith with a quick shot, and it goes off the glass and in. So Aquinas will extend on for a low-scoring first quarter of basketball here. It's 4-0 in favor of the Saints.
Yeah, it's been low scoring here because we've seen some battles there along the paint there, trying to go to the hoop, and what a block that was from number 22, Breon Cruz.
Well, the block by Cruz forces an inbound play for LTU as they're just trying to get on the scoreboard. And it hit the back of Cruz. That pass was undershot, was undergiven, trying to head out for Beatty. And now a quick 3-ball opportunity, and it's sunk in by Isabel Reemsnyder.
And of course, we got a timeout on Grace Hargan.
Aquinas opening up a 7-0 lead with 3:16 left to go in what has been a low-scoring first quarter. And for Grace Hargan taking this timeout here, trying to get her team back in pace.
Yeah, I mean, it's been a low-scoring game for the Blue Devils. A 30-second timeout, but I gotta admit, if the Blue Devils wanted to make sure that they get things going there, of course, you saw the Aquinas with the defensive opportunity, and they definitely capitalized it so well. This is what happened in the last game that I called for these two teams.
And this Aquinas team is definitely scrappy enough, especially on defense. They will mix it up. They quickly were in a zone defense and now have gone man-to-man coverage, and they're still stopping LTU right in their tracks. Fisher over to Gracie Bobo, who checks in. Bobo, another one of those freshmen talented. She'll take a 3-ball shot, and it's off the side of the rim, and it'll go out of bounds. Gracie Bobo comes up empty in her first shot opportunity of the night.
Poor Gracie Bobo was 0 for 1 in field goal attempts against Taylor. But against Grace Christian, she had 9 points, 1 assist, and 1 steal. She's also one of the freshmen of this Blue Devil squad.
Reemsnyder against Beatty. Up top, now over to Jada Smith. Smith against Fisher. Fake the 3. Puts out to Jada Smith one more time. Off the mark. And we got a foul away from the ball. It's on the floor, and I believe it's going to be against Abby Ray. Trying to box out against Cruz. And she'll be called for the foul. And we'll get Jade Ferris to come back in for Stevens. And Julia Huey will come back in as well for Ray. So Grace Howerton quickly trying to throw people out there to try to get a quick response out of the 7-0 deficit.
Also, Jade Ferris also coming along for the Blue Devils.
Jada Smith over to Reemsnyder. Reemsnyder against Beatty. Bounce pass out for Jada Smith. Shot clock down to 5. Quick pull-up shot off the mark. Rebounded and put up nicely by Cruz. So Cruz able there for the rebound, and that is something that Grace Howerton needs her team to get going, the offensive and defensive boards.
And the Blue Devils are shut out now in the first 8 minutes of the game. And they need to get a bucket here.
Bobo tried to hit Ferris down low, and his pass is high. And again, another turnover for the Blue Devils. We're under 2 minutes left to play. It is 9-0 in favor of Aquinas. And just like that, Gracie Bobo goes back to the bench. And this is what Grace Howerton is going to do. If one person's not having a good day, they have plenty of backups to go to.
They need to shovel things up here in order to make this team successful here in this game.
Reemsnyder, screen by Cruz. Good bounce pass over to Cruz, and an open lane, but she missed the layup. Rebounded, and now a quick jumper try. That one is off the heel, rebounded by Beatty.
There was some open space. There was an open space when Cruz getting to the hoop.
Fisher, quick three shot off the heel. Trying to go for the rebound was Huey. Ball is loose, and we got another scramble for it. They call another jump ball, and possession's going to stay with LTU. And we get a quick. They will throw the subs back.
Referee's telling some of the players to go back from off the bench.
All the players coming off the bench were rather greedy. Eddie Nagel comes in for Kendall Fisher. Aquinas has a full brand new 5 on the court.
Aquinas getting the line change of subs here.
And it's basically
in the last 80 seconds of the first quarter.
And it's pretty much their starting 5 that they had, with the exception of Josie Smith, who checks into the game as well.
Of course, Josie Smith played 11 minutes against Great Lakes Christian. She had 4.3 rebounds and 1 assist.
And the official over at the scores table to make sure all the subs are correctly checked in. Ferris over to Addie Nagel. LTU trying to crack the scoreboard for the first time tonight, and they nearly do so. Possession goes with Aquinas. Huey could not finish out the layup.
So far, more bricks than buckets for the Blue Devils here.
Alvin, Emily Klein trying to hit down low, cut off by Ferris, and now Maggie Long will bring it up. First real takeaway for the night for LTU. Beatty over to Long. Give it away to Ferris. Julia Huey. Beatty again. Aquinas really making LTU work around the perimeter.
10 on
Addie
shot.
Nagel. Maggie Long, 3-ball coming off the mark. Rebounded by Klein. Bringing up is Thomas.
Oh,
Knocked away by Ferris. Another steal and a takeaway by LTU.
Shot clock turned off. This is where things could get interesting here.
LTU trying to correct the scoreboard before the end of the first quarter. Huey, 3-ball, in and out. Rebounded by Klein. 15 seconds left to go. Mariah Barnes. Now Alvin. We got a jump ball on the way up. Clock stops with 5.9 left to go. Possession stays with Aquinas. 9-0 for the Saints.
That's been a low-scoring game here in the first quarter. Hopefully, things could change here.
The score of itself, a rarity. But for a shutout in the first quarter, a big rarity enough. Klein, 3-ball shot coming off the mark. Rebounded by Ferris, and that is how the first quarter comes to an end. So LTU shut out in the first quarter in a low-scoring matchup. It's only 9-0 in favor of Aquinas. What do you think is the necessary adjustments right here for LTU to get back into this one?
Well, first of all, the scoreline, you don't see this happening there. Of course, LTU getting shut out here. But so far, the changes need to be made here, especially on the positioning side. Someone needs to get more into the hoop. Defensively, they need to get on guard, or try and get into these side corners and hopefully make sure that they get things moving along here for the second quarter.
And definitely on the defensive side and offensive side, they just got to have more offensive boards. As LTU only has a total of 7 defensive rebounds and 3 offensive rebounds, so it definitely needs to be higher up there. And just they need to finish out their shots as well. Julia Huey had a great look a couple of times from beyond the arc, and it just couldn't finish out the layups. But I think their defense definitely tightened up within the last 2 minutes. They had a couple of steals and a couple of takeaways, so hopefully that same energy and integrity comes back and helps them out and finally crack the scoreboard for the first time tonight.
And of course, they have been missing all field goal attempts. They're 0 for 12 in field goal attempts, 0 for 6 in three-pointers, 0 for 2 in free throws. They need to correct themselves right now if they want to win this game and come back too.
A rarity of a first quarter. It's 9-0 as we head to the second quarter. 10 minutes remaining in the first half of play. Both these teams trying to get off to a great start in terms of conference play. LTU coming in a record of 1-1, an explosive start against Grace Christian University. Thank you for joining us in the LTU Sports Network. It's John Vilker and John Stone. The call for you guys as we start conference play. LTU with the possession right now. Maggie Long hands it off to Addie Nagel. Hands it over to Fisher into the corner. Aquinas has held LTU really good around the perimeter. Jade Ferris. Maggie Long will fake it. And now Nagel, a near takeaway. A scramble forward. Possession will go back to LTU. Isabel Reemsnyder. I make that Emily Klein rather. Really nearly had a takeaway right there.
Yeah, Emily Klein lost it on the handle right at the last minute. That there was a battle.
This Saints defense. Now Fisher, first three-ball opportunity, and she sinks it. LTU is finally on the board.
Finally, we got things going here with a three-bucket. First 3 points for Kendall Fisher in this game.
If it's going to be anybody, it's going to be Fisher. And now drive to the basket is off the mark. Rebounded by Fisher. Fisher quickly in transition. Another pull-up three off the mark. Scrambling forward, she gets herself. Now down the lane near the baseline. Fadeaway try, and it rolls in. Fisher with back-to-back buckets pulls LTU within 4. It's going to be Fisher fire if LTU wants to win this one.
And what a way to get things going there for the fifth-year senior out of Indianapolis.
Klein gives it over to Miller. Miller down low, quick jumper try. It falls up short, and now the reverse try by Emily Klein goes in.
Emily Klein now got 4 points in this game.
Dewey off to Fisher. Fisher, pull-up try off the mark. Rebounded by Miller. Alexis Thomas brings it up. Gives it away to Brown.
You can see the
Barnes
defensive
now over
coverage
to
going.
Alvin. Now back to Miller again. Miller defending against Nagel. Hands it off to Alvin. Alvin, a quick fake and a jump and a good scope and score.
What a move by Shakari Alvin.
Around the perimeter they go, all the way around to Julia Huey. Now back to Fisher. Nagel, around to the other side they go. Maggie Long along the baseline. Foul away from the ball before the shot. Foul is going to be on Brian Miller. Foul's on the floor, so it'll be an inbound play as Gabby Goff checks back in, along with Eliza Brown, and also Jada Smith checks in as well. Nagel, the inbound to Fisher. Hands it off. Nagel up top for Long. Goff with the screen. Maggie Long will take a three-ball shot, and that one's off the mark. A mid-collision. 3 players go down, and Fisher comes away with it. She slings it across to Julia Huey. Now down low for Goff. Blocked up there, and we got a jump ball going the way up. Great defensive work right there by Alvin and Klein.
These are two of the key players here for this Aquinas side, and Emily Klein getting the most of it there.
We'll check the scores table momentarily to make sure that the call was correct. Possession goes with Aquinas.
Yes.
So Jada Smith will bring things up. It is 13-5. Aquinas on top after shutting out LTU in the first quarter. Near the elbow. Up top there for Brown. Brown all the way down low. Alvin, the underneath shot. And she is called for the travel, and it will go the other way. Kylie Beatty checks in.
That was a lucky break for LTU. Nearly got a basket, but now Kylie Beatty's back on, and she'll inbound the basketball for LTU.
The amount of turnovers is basically almost even. 9 turnovers for LTU, 8 turnovers for Aquinas. So the turnover game has been pretty heavy for both these teams, but Aquinas has got the better hand of it. As Aquinas has got 5 points off those turnovers. They had Kylie Beatty down low open. Now she gets it. Underneath shot is blocked. Quickly out it. Fisher, 3-ball shot off the side of the rim. Keeping it alive, and Jada Smith comes away with it.
So far it's been all Aquinas here. Going forward here in the first half, excuse me.
Brown on top. Gives it over. Quick three ball shot by Thomas is off the mark. Rebounded by Beatty. Fisher will bring it up. Beatty over to Huey. Now to Maggie Long. Man-to-man defense is the way they go for Aquinas. Nearly taken away. Quick pull-up shot by Huey. It's in and out. Rebounded by Cruz. Thomas against Huey. Now gives it away to Brown. Now over to Smith. Down low for Cruz. Cruz against Goff. Cruz faced one way. Shot is dried up. Gabby Goff nearly got away with it. And another foul is called. Cruz will go to the line. And the foul is going to be on Gabby Goff. Goff nearly had a rebound right there. And then Cruz alertly swatted it away to the spree three.
Yeah, Gabby Goff lost it on the handle there, but good coverage by Breon Cruz.
Gracie Mitchell checks in along with Abby Ray. Gracie Mitchell, her first chance of the night. As Cruz will go to the line.
And she airballed it. Of course, Cruz only got one rebound against Indiana Northwest, and she was 0 for 2 in field goals, 0 for 1 in three-pointers, and she picked up 8 rebounds against Great Lake Christian.
Cruz only had 2 total free throws all last year. She was 1 for 2. So her first chance of the entire season gets them 1. So it's 5-14. 5.5 minutes left to go. LTU trying to crack back into this one. Over to Beatty. And we got a foul away from the ball again. And we'll go the other way. And it's going to be called against Kendall Fisher.
This is going to be a tough break. This has been a tough break so far here for the Blue Devils. Shut out in the first quarter, but now, what do they need to do? If you are Coach Hourigan, what do I need to ask myself? What do I need to do to make sure that this team be more aggressive?
Fadeaway opportunity, trying to hit Greensteiner down low, but it'll go the other way. Fisher was called for a second foul. Addie Nagel checked in. Cruz will depart, and Alvin comes back in. It's a 9-point lead for the Saints. Hand off to Mitchell. Mitchell handed off to Huey. Huey across for Ray. Ray around the perimeter, hits it down low to Gracie Mitchell. Kylie Beatty with the first three-ball opportunity, comes up with it. Another try, another rebound. It pulls away. Abby Ray faked the handoff. Shot clock reset momentarily. Ray up top for Nagel. Mitchell against Alvin down low. Shot clock down to 7. Addie Nagel. Huey with the rebound, and she puts it back in. There is the offensive board that LTU needed. It's now a 7-point game.
That's how we get things going. Julie Huey picking up the offensive rebound, and she just swoops it in off the glass.
The offensive boards that LTU desperately need in their game against Taylor. And now scramble and a takeaway. Addie Nagel comes away with it. Nagel down low, floater try, off the mark. Rebounded by Ream-Snyder. Gives it away to Alvin.
Of course, Isabel Ream-Snyder led the team with 27 points against IU Northwest.
Alvin against Nagel. Spin try, puts it up top. Ream-Snyder will give it away back to Alvin. Now back down low against Mitchell. Mitchell with a quick block. Ream-Snyder comes back up with it. It's off the mark. Two LTU players wanted the rebound, but Addie Nagel comes up with it.
Nicely done by Gracie Mitchell to pick out the block from Ream-Snyder. She was one-on-one getting close to the hoop.
Beatty out to Nagel. Nagel tried down the lane again, and this time she's fouled for the shot try, and she will go to the line.
What a drive by Addie Nagel. That thing's going through.
Nagel with no fear, tries to go down the lane. And now she will shoot 2.
Of course, Addie Nagel headed to the line. Of course, she was 2 for 4 in free throws against Grace Christian, but she had yet to have a free throw attempt against Taylor.
Addie Nagel was 33 of 49 in free throw shots last year, as she sinks down the first one. So definitely an above average free throw shooter. Points is what they need to get back into this one. And she's 1 of 2. Ball still loose, picked up by Ray. And she's fouled on the way up, and Abby Ray will go to the line. So back-to-back free throw opportunities for LTU to try to get even closer to tying this thing up.
And it's great to see Abby Ray becoming one of the newcomers there for the LTU squad. 23 combined minutes in these last 2 games after she's got the first one. And then, of course, against Grace Christian, she was 2 for 3 in free throws.
Ray, the freshman guards and forward, 5'10" out of Midland, Michigan. It's now 10-4, 10-14, rather. It's a 4-point game. Some key shooting. Miller gives it away to Barnes. Barnes against Beatty, and she is fouled on the way up by Beatty.
So Mariah Barnes will head to the line. She was 5 for 6 in free throw attempts in the last game. He picking up 10.4 assists and 1 steal. And she got the first one there on the money.
Barnes, a senior out of Grand Rapids.
And she started both of these games.
In and out, rebounded by Ray. Nagel will bring it up.
I saw Coach Harrigan on the free throw attempts to Addie Nagel for the pep talk being made here.
Pull it out to Ray. Beatty again. And Beatty is called for the travel before she passes it out. And she can't believe that call. And now that's another turnover for LTU to go the other way.
So Maddie Long comes back into the game.
Ryan Miller will bring it up. Give it away to Barnes. Barnes with an open lane and quickly off the glass and in. Barnes found that opening against Nagel and she took advantage of it. We're under 2.5 minutes left to go in the second quarter. It's 17-10. Aquinas has been on top of this entire game from the very beginning. They shut out LTU in the first quarter, 9-0. Ray will sling it all the way across to Maggie Long. Maggie Long in and out of pressure.
Clock turned off.
Ray with a 3-ball opportunity is short.
Yeah, I got the more shooting there.
Aquinas will get the ball one more time.
So far, Blue Devils are 1 for 12 in 3-pointers. This is not looking good for the Blue Devils there, but despite going down by 7, and now there's a turnover.
And a quick foul as Maggie Long had a breakaway opportunity. And that was basically a foul to give. This would be an inbound play for the sideline.
That's a good strategy there for Aquinas to get a foul there.
Foul's on Isabel Ream-Snyder, her second. LTU trying to get back into this one. Barnes with really good pressure. Screen by Mitchell. Huey directing traffic. Now back over to Nagel to top the key. Maggie Long feeds it down low for Mitchell. And the foul is on the floor before the shot goes off, so this will be an inbound play. That will put Aquinas into the bonus.
And of course, Brian Morris, the head coach of Aquinas, is not happy with the call.
Ryan Morris in his 4th season as Aquinas coach. That puts LTU within the bonus, so Mitchell will go to the line.
And she made the first one.
Mitchell was 4 of 16. Checked that, 24 of 50 last year with 3 throws.
And she had 2 points and 4 rebounds against Grace Christian.
We'll get a sub in. Gracie Bobo will check back in. And Abby Ray will go back to the bench. So it's a 5-point deficit as we will get another sub in. Cruz will depart. And Alvin will come back in. LTU trying to get back in this one, at least make it close going into the half. Miller will bring it up. Hand it off to Barnes. Barnes again down the lane. And she is fouled again on the way up. And she will again go to the line. So against that.
Barnes definitely driving it there. She's trying to give everything she's got here, but good thing that she commits the foul there and heads to the line.
Fouls on Addie Nagel. That'll be her first. Barnes nails the first free throw. It's basically a pressure type situation. When you drive it down that lane and into that basket, you are almost forcing the opponent to foul right there.
Absolutely, and of course you saw the second basket being made for Mariah Barnes. Now she is 3 for 4 in free throw attempts.
Maggie Long hands it off to Nagel. Huey back to Nagel again. We're approaching 1 minute left to go. Great defensive work by Aquinas in the zone defense. Huey down the lane, and it's blocked out of bounds by Brian Miller. This is a tough zone defense that Aquinas is putting on right here. They had it right at the very beginning of the game, then they went to man-to-man coverage, and now they're going back to the zone.
And that's a game plan there for Aquinas as well. You saw the key zone on defense, trying to make sure that they pressure the Blue Devils there along the way, and that's what they're doing right now.
Nagel, quick shot off the side of the rim, and it's Barnes with the rebound in transition. Goes out to Miller. Miller down the lane, quick pull-up floater. Ball's knocked free. It's another scramble, and there's a foul called. You'll see the foul is called on momentarily. And it will be against Addie Nagel. That will put Aquinas into the bonus as well. So it'll be Brian Miller to go to the line to shoot.
And Addie Nagel with her second foul today. And Brian Miller will head to the line. These are her first 2 attempts.
This is the first one. 42.8 seconds left to go. Miller was 8 of 14 last year, and she nails the second one. So it's now an 8-point deficit for LTU, trying to make this at least close before the half comes to end. Gives it off to Beatty. Back to Maggie Long. Great defense being put up by the Saints. Put back jumper try off the side of the rim. Put on by Barnes. Barnes in transition. 20 seconds remaining. Aquinas in full control as the clock continues to wind down.
Shot clock already turned off here.
And we get a charging call against Barnes. So LTU will have one more opportunity to crack the scoreboard before the half.
So far, 5 team fouls for both of these teams. So 10 total fouls. And of course, Mariah Barnes getting her second foul of the game.
Stevens will bring it up. Gracie Bobo with the corner 3 opportunity off the mark. And that is how the first half of play comes to an end. So a very low scoring first half of play of college basketball action right here at Don Ruther Fieldhouse. Aquinas shut out LTU in the first quarter 9-0. A rare score if at that. LTU finally cracks the scoreboard, but Aquinas gets a little bit of cushion. They have an 8-point lead. Jan, what is the necessary adjustments that LTU needs to do within the second half?
It's been tough so far in the first half, but if I were Coach Ray Haugen, I'd tell my team to make sure to get away from the defensive pressure. Right now, this has not been handling them so much, but if I were Coach Ray Haugen, make sure they drive to the basket really more and trying to have more patience there as well.
No, definitely. More pressure, more patience, just definitely better effort overall. So, in about 15 minutes, we will come back for the second half of play. It is 20-12 in favor of the Aquinas Saints over your LTU Blue Devils. We will be right back on the LTU Sports Network right here at Don Ruther Fieldhouse in Southfield. Welcome back, everybody, to Don Riddler Fieldhouse in Southfield on the LTU Sports Network. Jan Volker, John Snow with you guys on the call. It is 20-12 in favor of Aquinas. They have an 8-point lead over LTU. They shut them out in the first quarter, 9-0. Jan, when you look at the numbers, it's just a bunch of zeros for LTU right now. They were total 3 of 30 for field goals overall. Just need to improve their shots, and they just need to keep adding on. But give credit to Aquinas' defense throughout the entire half.
Yeah, Aquinas' defense has been so good there. Just like you said, of course, we've been shut out here in the first half, but LTU has been definitely improved a little bit. But hopefully, once we get to the rest of the game, hopefully things could happen here for LTU.
Alvin against Ferris. Now back up top for Miller. Miller down low, fadeaway shot off the mark, loose for it. Out of bounds, it'll go to LTU. That was Ferris against Alvin that time.
Now, of course, we want to remind you that coming up after this game, of course, the men will take over the court as the doubleheader continues on with LTU men and the Aquinas.
And both you and I will be on the call for that game as well. A lot of basketball action right here this evening. Thomas down the lane, fakes one way, walks it up, underneath try, and good strip away, and Addie Nagel comes up with it. Gives it away to Fisher. Fisher, not a Huey. Aquinas has really made LTU work around the perimeter, and we got a foul away from the ball yet again. There was so many of those calls early on within the first half, and it comes back to bite LTU again.
Yeah, so many fouls for LTU just comes back to haunt him, and that's the reason why things are definitely favor Aquinas' way. So far, Aquinas has been so relentless getting the position that they need it to be.
Great hustle right there when it goes out of bounds to LTU. Great hustle by Alexis Thomas, as that shot was just short. That foul was on Jade Ferris. That's her second foul, and I believe it was for an illegal screen. So second illegal screen foul right there. But LTU yet takes over with possession. Slings it over to Huey, now over to Nagel. Nagel tried to hit Ferris, but there's that defense again. Alvin able to knock it away.
Good block away there from Jakari Alvin out of Grand Rapids. So LTU will get a chance to inbound the basketball once again.
Long, now for Huey. Great defense to prevent Ferris from getting an opportunity down low. Fisher, lock inside 7, goes to the corner. Long fakes it, and she's fouled going down the baseline. It'll be on the floor, so this will be another inbound play. But there's that Aquinas defense. They have held LTU just around the perimeter, and even when they do get the ball inside the paint, they have yet to convert.
And then of course, they scored points from turnovers. As you can see, Kendall Fisher getting the 2 on the chance off the glass. But like I said, of course, for Aquinas, and of course, there you got the response. I haven't even finished talking yet.
The action is fast and furious, my friend.
Well, of course, Aquinas got like 12 points in the paint in the first half, and of course, they got points from the turnovers. There's 8 points off of turnovers.
Jakari Allen, that's her first bucket of the night. Kendall Fisher with 7 points. She's been the main source of offense as she continues that run with another bucket. It's now 16-22.
How about that from Kendall Fisher? Now 9 points to her credit.
If it's one person that's going to bring this team to life, it's going to be Fisher, coming back for a 5th year. Around top, Klein looking for somebody open. Lifts it over to Thomas. Back down in the paint. And now a scramble forward, loose ball. And another scramble forward on the sideline. It will go to Aquinas, but great hustle by Maggie Long.
There was a collision between Long and Thomas, but not just like you said, possession goes to Aquinas once there. 7:07 to play here in the third. And of course we got Reem Snyder coming back on, Isabel Reem Snyder. She's definitely one of the key players to watch here for Aquinas. Of course, she had picked up 27 points against Indiana West, like I mentioned earlier in the game. But she has struggled to find some points there against Great Lakes Christian.
Brown stepped out of bounds. Another one of the people coming in substitute-wise, along with Jada Smith. So Aquinas goes back and forth. They do have like a full set of 5. So basically they use 10 players total off that entire roster. Ferris all the way across to Fisher. Fisher against Smith. Maggie Long, 3-ball opportunity off the side of the rim. Kept in by Ferris.
Good job by Ferris to get it going there on the offensive rebound.
Ferris against Alvin, able to get it out to Fisher. Now Fisher, 3-ball shot off the mark. Ferris with another try opportunity. Fouls on the floor. So this will be another inbound play.
Man, what a hustle for LTU. First you got Kendall Fisher trying to get a 3-ball opportunity, could not. And then Jade Ferris just getting the hustle that she wanted to have.
That was 2 offensive rebounds within that whole sequence. Now Fisher, again, fadeaway opportunity, and it bounces in. Fisher now with double digits.
Kendall Fisher thought she was fouled, but she managed to stay with it on the play.
It's now a 4-point game. Inside the paint, quick jumper try for Reem Snyder. Huey comes away with it.
Of course,
Addie Nagel.
Kendall Fisher now got 11 points. She's on the ball right now.
Maggie Long thought about a pull-up 3. Fisher over to Long again. We try from this side. Just off. And it's Alvin with the rebound. Gets it away to Jada Smith.
This is where we see LTU comes to life here.
Reem
After
Snyder
a struggling first half.
down low. And a foul is called. And I believe they've called it on Jade Ferris. That's going to be her 3rd foul.
And Jade Ferris needs to be careful.
And they will have subs coming in as well. Gracie Mitchell and also Abby Ray. They replaced Maggie Long and Jade Ferris. And it will be.
And of course, Shakari Alvins will head to the line. Of course, she was 1 for 1 in field goal attempts back in the first half, nearly playing 14 minutes.
Misses the first one. 4-point deficit. LTU just trying to get back into this one, trying to look for the first lead of the night, especially trying to get a huge response after being shut out. And that's a rarity enough in the first quarter. Alvin makes the second one. Makes it a 5-point game. Alvin will be replaced by Cruz. Nagel quickly down there. Huey. Now to Fisher. Abby Ray over to Nagel. They're trying to feed Gracie Mitchell down low, but defended nicely by Cruz. And now leaving her wide open, and Mitchell puts it in.
Oh,
They found the opening. They found the opening that they've been looking for the entire game.
And
Aquinas left the door cracked open. Reem Snyder for 3, and that one sinks through.
Wow.
Isabel Reem Snyder with a quick response as we will get a timeout.
And a timeout will be on Aquinas.
So the action has picked up a bit. The scoring has picked up a bit. It's now a 6-point game. Both teams have had equal amount of responses for each other.
Yeah, they had some good responses. And that's what it's all about. Getting to make sure that they find an opening. You saw what Gracie Mitchell, you saw the pass coming over to Gracie Mitchell. That's an opening that it was fine for LTU, and she put it into the basket. So far, we're getting some quick responses here for both of these teams, and for both of these teams have defended really well so far here in the third quarter.
Yeah, definitely. The defense has picked up. Aquinas' defense is still very strong, still very strong techniques. Whether they're in man-to-man or that zone coverage, they are basically tough to beat. They keep LTU around the perimeter as they try to pound it on the inside. That time they found an opening. They found one opening out of that tough defense. The door was just cracked open and they went right through it. So hopefully LTU can capitalize even further, possibly tie this up and take a lead.
Absolutely, and that's what it's all about.
5:13 left to go, third quarter. This has been a low-scoring game, but still a fun one. Rather high defense, although a lot of turnovers, but still great matchup, especially now that the energy is picked up and that the responses are good in both directions.
Hopefully the Blue Devils, hopefully not to give up without a fight.
Nagel Gives it away to Fisher. We got a foul away from the ball as Gracie Mitchell hit the deck. And the foul is going to be on Cruz. That'll be her first. There's been so many fouls in this game that have been away from the action, in which basically has caused pause in play, a lot of low scoring. Great inbound.
So far,
Running out of time, and the timer did run out.
5-second violation.
That time, Aquinas had them defended perfectly on that inbound play. Jada Smith. Reem Snyder. And now a takeaway opportunity. Fisher down the lane. And she is fouled on the way up by Cruz, and Fisher will go to the line.
Cruz adds her second foul of the game. And what a way from Kendall Fisher to try to get an opportunity going to the hoop and getting the foul. If she would have put it into the bucket, we wouldn't see a three-point play.
Fisher last year, 109 out of 135, a free-throw shooting percentage of .807.
She had 5 rebounds in the first half, and they got 5 turnovers as well.
Nearly automatic as they come. Fisher trying to possibly make this another 4-point game. And she does. 4:44 left to go. LTU trying to search for their first lead of this game. Smith to Cruz. On top for Brown. Over to Reem Snyder against Beatty, who checked in. Now Emily Klein. And yet we get another foul away from the ball. This time will be called on Gracie Mitchell. Mitchell, that'll be her first foul. Has had a bit of a mid-collision with Cruz trying to receive that pass. Grace Howard to try to plead her case. This will be an inbound play.
Inbounding the basketball.
And good awareness.
And nice way to swat away from Kendall Fisher. Smart play.
Always got to have eyes in the back of your head if you're Aquinas, because Kendall Fisher is everywhere. A lot of steals, a lot of takeaways. She is right there to knock that ball free. Out to Barnes to check back in. Barnes against Nagel. Down that lane again. Comes up empty. Rebounded by Beatty. Fisher in transition. Trying to work her way down. And now Gracie Mitchell will hand it off to Beatty. Around the perimeter they go. Nagel. Pull-up jumper. Nearly had a friendly bounce, and possession will stay with the Blue Devils. Trying to fight their way back.
And now it's crunch time there. And of course, Maddie Long coming on to the game, and Addie Nagel coming out.
Jakari Alvin also checked back in as well for Cruz. Looking for somebody open. Beatty gives it off to Fisher. Fisher, 3-ball shot, and it goes in. Woo! Fisher with another 3-ball bucket. It's a 1-point game. With 3:45 left to go, we got a timeout.
Boy, this is getting close. This is the way we want to see. That 3-ball from Kendall Fisher was huge. And that definitely set the pace for the last 3:45 of the third.
Definitely, if LTU takes the lead right here, this place is going off the roof. This place is electric when Fisher is on her, was basically right at herself. Playmaking, point scoring, just always well aware. Fisher is always on alert. She's all over the place. You got to have eyes in the back of your head. She's willing to knock that ball free. She's willing to run for traffic. Now everybody else just needs to step up.
Yeah, and that's why Kendall Fisher is doing all the dirty work there. You see 16 points for Kendall Fisher, and she's definitely getting the damage done.
The next two scores in line are Gracie Mitchell with 4 points, and Julia Hilly only has 2. So who's going to step up? LTU down by 1. Barnes down the lane and misses that layup. Fisher with the rebound. In transition, Maggie Long, 3-ball shot, and it goes through! LTU takes its first lead of the night.
That's how we get things going here, baby.
This place exploded off that 3-ball by Maggie Long, her first bucket of the night. Jada Smith gives her away to Barnes. Back out to Smith. Into the paint. Mishandled by Klein. Now Irene Snyder. Spin move. Spins again. Everybody wanted to travel there. Jada Smith misses the layup. And the shot clock will run out as that ball did not hit the rim. So possession will go back to LTU.
And LTU, you can see the defense. They're definitely taking the page out of Aquinas' playbook. And they're definitely using their own man-to-man coverage.
Now the Blue Devils try to extend. Quick pull-up jumper. Count it, baby. Count it. LTU has an extension. It's now 30-26.
Girl, Kendall Fisher.
Now back on the defensive side. Barnes, spin move underneath. And finally, they get one to fall for the Saints. It's now 2-point game.
Kendall Fisher now, she got 18 points here.
Foul on the floor. And it will be on Jada Smith. That'll be her second foul. And this will be an inbound play. That will put LTU within the bonus. 2:19 left to go in the third quarter. LTU has his first lead of the night in this low-scoring game. Finally, they get some consistent offense going. And Grace Howard mentioned at the beginning of the year, points in transition. Just getting our shots to fall in transition. That is so huge for us because we did not keep that consistent all of last year. So not only do we have to play patient, but when we're on a hot streak and we're on the run, we need to make sure we get those points in transition.
Absolutely. And of course, you saw the first bucket made by Kendall Fisher.
Makes them both.
And she is perfect so far in 3-for-4 attempts. Now 4 for 4.
Make it up to 4 now. Smith against Long. Hands it off to Barnes. Barnes behind the back, down the lane, and she's fouled.
That was a good block from Kylie Beatty. And now
Foul's going to be called on Maggie Long. That's going to be her first foul.
And Mariah Barnes will head to the line. Mariah Barnes 3 for 4 in free throws.
This is the first one. LTU now with 4 fouls. They definitely need to be considerate, because one more foul puts Aquinas within the bonus. In and out, that one goes as well. Rebounded by Beatty.
Now in these last 2 minutes, it's about how to step up to a plate for LTU.
Beatty against Reem Snyder. She's fouled on the way up, and Beatty will go to the line to shoot. LTU is pounding their way into a lead right here in the third quarter, trying to give themselves a cushion.
And look at this, 23rd quarter points for LTU.
Friendly bounce on the first one. Beatty was 50 of 70, 55 of 70 rather. Make that free throw percentage of 7.86. And nearly a good wraparound, rebounded by Alvin. 33-28, under 2 minutes to go. Klein, back up top for Smith. Smith against Long, into the paint. 3-ball shot. It goes in and out. Klein with the rebound, back up top for Barnes. Barnes down the lane, ball's knocked 3, it's still knocked 3, and Gracie Mitchell comes away with it. Now quickly in transition, Fisher trying to hit Huey on the corner, but it's knocked out of bounds by Reem Snyder.
Yeah, Reem Snyder got the last touch. It was going for the intended pass to Maddie Long, who was trying to go for the 3-point. So far, it's been all LTU here in the third quarter.
Huey will inbound. Go back out to Mitchell. Huey, 3-ball, just short. Knocked away, and it will go back with LTU as Kendall Fisher is on the alert.
Alvin got the last touch on the ball.
Talking about heart and soul of this team, that is Kendall Fisher. She came back to this team for one more year, trying the hopes of making a better year. Fisher. Back up top. Maggie Long. Spin move underneath. Floater shot goes in.
Wow. How about that for Maddie Long?
A fine piece of shot right there by Maggie Long. Give her 5 points on the night. Flying down low, and she gets that one to go in.
Good response there from Middle League line, now at 6 points in the game.
Fisher will slow things down a bit. Not much difference between the game clock and the shot clock. But LTU is trying to run this out, get the clock on their side. Maggie Long. Aquinas within his own defense. He started this out at the beginning of the night. Long down the lane. Tried to be fouled on the way up. And it's Alvin with the takeaway. Not quickly on it. Klein over to Barnes. Back out shot. 3-point opportunity by Brown is in and out. Rebounded by Beatty. Scramble for it. And we got a foul called. One official said it was a jump ball. One called a foul. This could be a huge moment right here to end this quarter.
Brian Miller can't believe it. She thought she had it, but that's her third foul.
And the foul is called. Foul is called on Brian Miller.
And that's their fourth, so one more and she'll be out.
Now
the whole Aquinas bench were upset about that call. And Brian Miller can't believe that foul is on her. And even Brian Morris as well.
Pleading his case. He's the official that called for the jump ball. It was right in front of the Aquinas bench as Benny misses the first free throw. It was the official on the baseline that called the foul. And in discussion, they probably saw it both. They probably saw it one way. Beatty just tried to give a little bit of cushion. As she does with 1 out of 2.
It's been a top third quarter there for the Saints.
One more shot opportunity. In and out. And the third quarter comes to an end. LTU with its first lead of the night, and they stay with it. It is 36-30. Boy, what a comeback in this low-scoring game after being shut out in the first quarter and being down by 8 at the half. Boy, what energy are we experiencing?
Talk about never give up on the Blue Devils. They have definitely stick with the game plan in the third quarter, and they managed to get it out through, and they get things going here. And guess what? They have outscored Aquinas 24-10 in the third quarter.
Such a huge differential from that 12-point first half overall. Just really a great comeback overall. This is the kind of response that you need from your team when you're in conference play. I mean, getting shut out, that's a rarity enough, but to be this low scoring and keep it this close and then to make a comeback, grab a lead, and hold on to it after the third quarter going into the fourth is very huge. This is conference play. This is where everything gets taken up a notch.
And I'll say this, when it comes to slow starts, Hurts, you never know what's going to expect. But when you try to build the momentum going forward throughout the game, then everything goes in favor to the team.
This should definitely be an interesting fourth quarter coming up. Aquinas still has really great, solid defense. LTU has finally gotten some shots to fall as they've gotten some points in transition, and which was very huge for them. It'll be the Saints to have the ball at first possession.
So Bailey Stevens will come to the game. Of course, you see her, number 1, along with Fisher, Beatty, Long, and Mitchell, the five players for LTU.
Alvin, Barnes, Klein, Brown, and Doschke. And quickly fouled on the way up by Bailey Stevens is Barnes, and Barnes will go to the line. So that not really the kind of start you expected. And Grace Howgen let her young player know, like, hey, you can't get too aggressive. We have a lead. We're trying to keep it here.
And she got the first one there, 4 for 7 now in free throw attempts. Going to attempt the second basket here. She only got 2 rebounds and 2 fouls in this game.
Now 4-point gain, Stevens called for her first foul. She'll bring it up. Good handle right there by Fisher. Fisher inside the paint. Floater try off the heel. Rebounded by Brown. Klein. LTU bench willing to travel on that one. It was not called. Barnes will give it away to Alvin. Doschke. Now give it to Alvin one more time. 3-ball opportunity, and it's sunk in by Brown.
Man, nice going there from Eliza Brown, who just getting her first minutes of the game.
On the other end. Mitchell. And nothing comes up. Doschke with the rebound. LTU trying to work quickly on the other end. Now it's Barnes. Barnes will take a 3-point shot. It's off the heel. Rebounded by Alvin. Foul will be called on the floor. This will be an inbound play. Alvin was all over it for the offensive board.
And now we'll get one sub for each team as Reem Snyder comes back on for Aquinas and Jade Ferris for LTU.
Ferris replaced Mitchell. Quickly inbound, and again we've got a foul going up.
You can see the frustration on Grace Harrigan. She is not happy with the foul being called.
Alvin will go to the line again. Foul is on Kylie Beatty. That's her third foul.
And Kylie Beatty needs to be careful.
Alvin sinks the first one. Beatty with 3 fouls and 2 points. This is definitely the quarter where you need players to step up, because it's definitely not a good look when you got more fouls than points to contribute. And in and out, 1 for 2 was Alvin on that one. So Fisher will bring it up. It's a tie game at 36. Stevens over to Beatty, and out along. Around the perimeter they go. Down low for Ferris. Ferris working her way inside the paint. And she is fouled on the way up. Woo! Boy, the Saints fans in attendance are not like that. They are hyping. They're hyping Matt over that one.
And Alvin with her third foul of the game.
Almost looked like a clean bucket. Could have gone either way. But the result of it, it is a foul, and Jade Ferris will go to the line.
So Julie Huey will come back on for the Blue Devils.
Ferris 29 of 42 last year. Sinks the first one.
I was definitely worried about Aquinas because they thought that was not a foul. And they cannot believe that call as well. So now it's a 2-point game once again for LTU. And if you're Aquinas, you got to think about this. What do we need to do to not getting any more foul troubles there? Of course, you got Alvins with 3 fouls. Of course, Reem Snyder with 3 fouls. You got to be very careful.
Around the perimeter. Doschke, floater try. It rolls off, rebounded by Beatty. Grace Howard telling Fisher to slow things down. We've got the lead. Let's bring some clock. Let's try to work out something.
And of course, you saw Grace Howard telling the team to settle down for a minute.
Fisher only across to Huey. Now Beatty.
Stand on a shot.
Back and forth. I know, I'm nearly a miscue. Shot clock is down to 5. Fisher will throw up a 3, and it's in and out. Ball is loose. The shot clock did not reset after the shot. And now we'll get a mid-discussion on the court. The shot clock did not reset after the shot.
Yeah, it did not reset after the shot was taken by Fisher.
So the call on the court should be a jump ball coming. And if it is, which it should be, possession is going to stay with LTU. But I will be very surprised if they call this a shot clock violation after it clearly hit the rim and did not reset.
Yeah. Kenner Fisher were letting the shot go at the shot clock. Time was expired. And then, of course, it hit the rim as it was going through.
Still waiting for an official call. The official's now going to Grace Howerton. And it appears that LTU will stay with possession.
So the
So
shot
it was
clock.
a jump ball.
Yeah, so shot clock resets down to 20.
Ferris quickly out. Beatty to Huey. Over to Maggie Long. Long against Reem Snyder. And nearly kept in play. Nearly a giveaway. Long down low. Works away across. And nearly could have had an opportunity at a three-point play.
That would have been a three-point play if that ball would have gone in. Man, what a hustle there from Maddie Long, who will go to the line.
Fouls on Jenna Doschke. That would be her first.
Welcome to the foul party, Jenna Dash.
Long
Maddie Long
hits the first one. Long to try to extend. Give LTU to 40. And does so off the friendly bounce. So now it's a 4-point game. LTU trying to hold on after being down and did not have a lead until the third quarter. Over to Barnes. Barnes behind the back. And got her own rebound, and she is fouled going up again. Mariah Barnes going back to the line once again as LTU still continues to foul going the way up.
And Kylie Beatty getting her fourth foul of the game, so she needs to be very careful not to get her fifth, or else she'll be out of this game.
Addie Nagel will check in for Beatty. As Barnes will go back to the line again. 7 minutes and 7 seconds left to go, fourth quarter. This is game one of conference play to start the year. And what a better matchup. You got the number 4 predicted preseason poll in LTU and number 5 in Aquinas. You got a top 5 matchup potentially witnessing right before our eyes.
Yeah, this is a good competitive match that we wanted to see here before getting ready for conference play. Of course, when we saw the Blue Devil Classic, this is like warm-up games for the Blue Devils to get things forward before getting ready for conference play. Oh, there you go, Maddie Long with the three-point play.
They call it, right before the shot, they called a travel, so it goes the other way.
Oh, man.
Yeah, tough break right there. The entire bench wanted a foul called on a block, but Maggie Long was called, or a walk rather. So on the defensive side, Jada Smith checked back in. Reem Snyder down inside the paint for Alvin, and that one goes off. And there's a scramble for it again on the floor, and we get another jump ball.
There are a lot of bodies near the paint, but it stays with Aquinas at the end.
Possession will stay with the Saints. A lot of jump ball action going on. A lot of loose ball plays. Everybody's just scrambling for it. And that's the way that Grace Howard described this Aquinas team. They are scramblers. They are going to play all over the place, not so much stay in one spot. Cruz will come back in and replace Alvin. Inbound to Smith. Reem Snyder out top for Klein. Into the paint. Floater shot and it goes in.
Wow.
We got a tie game at 40. So quickly on it to Addie Nagel. Huey. Now to Fisher. Kendall Fisher down low. Inside the paint for Ferris. Off the glass and it goes in.
That's how you got things going there. Nice work for Jade Ferris.
Jade Ferris with her second bucket of the night. Cruz around the perimeter. Working her way down low against Ferris. Stopped on there. Hands it off to Jada Smith. Smith to Klein. Emily Klein down low. Cruz. Ball knocked free again, and it goes back to Aquinas. So Julia Huey all over the place, got the ball knocked free twice. And possession stays with Aquinas.
Grace Howard again trying to give her team the message.
You cannot afford to put Aquinas within the bonus when you got the lead. Down low to Reem Snyder. Quickly put back up. Shot clock resets. And Aquinas still has possession. Floater shot, that one's no good. Rebounded by Klein, and that one goes in.
This is neck and neck time here.
Those defensive boards are so huge. Grace Howerton mentioned it earlier, the defensive boards and the offensive boards. We need those the most. Fisher into the corner. Ball went out of bounds. Trying to get it all the way across to Huey for a three-point opportunity, but could not get it there.
This is going to be a tough matchup going down the stretch. We are 5 minutes, 11 away till the end of the game, and it's tied at 42. This is crunch time for both of these teams.
At the rate in which this game is going, it might come down to one last shot from either side. Barnes down low, off the glass. And we got a foul again. Jade Ferris called for another foul. That'll be her fourth. That will put the Saints into the bonus. Mitchell and Beatty will come on. Nagel and Ferris to depart. Cruz will go to the line.
And you got
This
missed
is
the first one.
shot.
Of course, it was a fourth 1 for 2, now 1 for 3 in free throw attempts. She was 1 for 4 in field goal attempts tonight.
Cruz makes the second. Aquinas Aquinas retakes the lead. Only the second time in the second half. They had the lead throughout the majority of this game. LTU then took the lead back in the third quarter. Aquinas with only their second lead of the game.
Now, of course, for Aquinas, their biggest lead was 9 points.
Fisher will go to the line as she is fouled on the way up. Foul is going to be on Jada Smith. Smith with her third foul. That puts Aquinas at 3 team fouls in this quarter.
Kendall Fisher so perfect on free throws.
And she maintains that focus. Now trying to put LTU up ahead. She has been their playmaker. That gives Kendall Fisher an even 20. And make it 21.
5 for 5 tonight in free throw attempt for Kendall Fisher.
Smith got past Long. Down the lane, misses the layup. Mitchell with the rebound.
Kendall Fisher's becoming the playmaker here.
As she always does. Inside the paint, try to get a pass out. Huey, corner three, off the mark. Ball nearly went out of bounds. LTU fans had
It was
a good
close.
look at it.
It was close for Riemsnyder to get out of bounds.
Smith gives it off to Barnes. Barnes against Fisher. Hands it out to Emily Klein. Klein hands it off to Smith. Now down low for Riemsnyder. Off. And rebounded by Beatty. Kylie Beatty with a good amount of rebounds all over the place. Now LTU trying to extend. Long. Back over to Huey. Now to Fisher. Fisher directing traffic. Outside. Huey into the corner. Around the perimeter they go. Shot clock down to 5. They nearly wanted a foul as Maggie Long tried to throw it up. Brown will give it off to Barnes.
You heard Brian Morris saying 3, 3, 3.
Now trapped nearly on the paint. Smith, good floater, shot, and it goes off the back.
This is getting close.
Had a good wide open opportunity. And Grace Howerton's going to take a timeout. With 3:02 left to go in the fourth quarter, it's 45-44. John, at the rate at which this game's going, it could come down to one final shot. This could be a close one.
The lead has been changing hands so far here in the fourth quarter. We saw back and forth first battles between both of these teams. Both teams getting the chances, getting the shots toward the hoop. So far, it's going neck and neck, and just like you said, it all comes down to one last shot, one last opportunity for both of these teams.
LTU has been in total command pretty much. They have managed to come all the way back after being shut out in the first quarter, 9-0, a rarity of a score, and then they were down 8 at the half. They managed to take the lead and hold on to it. They won the third quarter 24-10, and so far, Aquinas, they've been getting the upper hand, but still LTU is right there to take it right back. So neck and neck they go. Low scoring amount, but this is as close as you can get when you're in conference play.
This is going to be so exciting. This all comes down to the final 3 minutes, 2 seconds. I'm ready for this, John.
Oh yeah, you can feel the tension, you can feel the intensity of this game just going back and forth. This could be a tight finish, a close finish. These two squads trying to get out to a great start. Maggie Long will bring it up. Give it off to Gracie Mitchell. Now back to Long again. Nearly taken away by Smith against Fisher. Fisher down low. Good opportunity, rebounded by Brown. Emily Klein will bring it up, hand it off to Jada Smith. Give it away to Alvin. Alvin down low. Hands it off. Now Klein at the top of the key. Brown, long three, and she drills that one.
Wow.
Brown with a long three, and it pays off. And foul's going to be called. Fisher will go to the line if she tried to quickly get a quick bucket in transition.
And Kathleen Fisher has been on a roll so far here tonight. Of course, Jada Smith will get her 4th foul of the game, so she needs to be very careful. So she's out of the game. So good thing she's on to the bench.
That was Brian Miller that went to the bench. And there was Mariah Barnes to check back in. And Fisher with her first miss of the season.
She had worked so well. 6 consecutive tries. And now she got the 7s. Now she's 7 for 8 from the free throw line.
3-point game coming down to the wire. Barnes gives it to Alvin. Hands it off to Smith. Brown. Good pressure by Maggie Long. Now Jada Smith. Shot clock down to 5. Up the top. Barnes in the paint. Floater try. It's out of bounds. Waiting for a call, and a call is made.
Yes, it was last toss. The fans of Aquinas and, of course, the players on the bench saying that it was going to be their ball as well.
And it was the official on the sideline nearby the Aquinas bench that made the call after the baseline judge could not come up with a call. So it'll be an inbound play for the Saints. They throw it out to Alvin. And we got a stoppage in play. And it appears that either the game clock or the shot clock was not going off. It appears the shot clock.
To 17.
3-point game. Smith to try to extend it for the Saints. Off the heel for the first one. Boy, every shot is just so crucial in these tight games. And rolls off, goes 0 for 2. LTU still has an opportunity. And Grace Howard is going to call another timeout. We are under a minute left to go in the 4th quarter. It's a 3-point game, 48-45. And as we predicted, as we've been talking, this is coming down to the wire. One last shot. You cannot get any close net than this.
Man, I got to tell you, this is going to be intense. Under a minute to go in regulation, and the Blue Devils need a 3-pointer to get things going here. They needed to tie it up and definitely, hopefully, just take this game to overtime at least.
Boy, overtime would almost sound like an amazing experience. Tie it at 48, possibly go ahead. Timeout was called after Fisher crossed the half-court mark, so this will be inbounded from the sideline.
So this is crunch time for the Blue Devils. Like I said, 3 to tie it up. They could need to use their time wisely.
Inbound to Huey. Now to Mitchell. They had Huey. Now Bailey down low, and she cannot finish the bucket. And now it's Brian Morris who calls the timeout. Grace Hougen pleading a case, but nothing's going to come of it. Now it's Aquinas in possession. Boy, Beatty was all wide open down low, and she could not finish it.
I'm starting to get some chills here, John.
Well, not only because it's cold in here,
Nah.
like the AC is just running on the high.
All right.
So with Aquinas as the ball, they're up by 3, only 52 seconds left. LTU with a still good opportunity to possibly take this ball away and still tie this up. This has been tight from the very beginning. A lot of weird scores and a lot of weird happenings. A lot of turnovers, a few misplays, but it's still a tight game and a good one to start conference play. Still a lot to improve upon from both these teams, especially going into the year. So Aquinas to inbound for the sideline. 52 seconds left to go. Nearly ran out. Brown over to Klein. Now up top to Barnes. They're going to try to run as much clock out as they can. Down low to Reem Snyder. Inside the paint. Now back up top for Barnes. Barnes over for Klein. Klein all the way across, and it goes out of bounds. Way out of the reach of Reem Snyder, and LTU will get one more opportunity to possibly tie this up.
They need to get that opportunity so far. Time is definitely running out on Blue Devils' side. They only got 27 seconds left. This is getting close.
They're going to play as tight defense as they've ever played.
Remember, they need a 3 to tie it.
Fisher thought about it. Spin move, down low, quick jumper, try, and it's in. That makes it a 1-point game. And a quick timeout called by Brian Morris. So we get things a little bit closer. 16 seconds, 1-point game. Aquinas will have possession. As much as LTU could have tried to go for a 3 to tie it all, they were conservative and elected to go for just the 2.
Yeah, absolutely. They needed that to hopefully try to get things close to the deficit. It'll be interesting to see how things are going to go within the last 16 seconds.
It almost like it makes things easier, you would say, because if LTU gets one more possession, they don't have to try to get a 3 to win. They would just need one bucket down low to win it all, or just even a floater opportunity. So here we go.
So it all comes down to this.
They're going to try to run out the clock. Nearly taken away, and now a scramble for it. Taken away by Beatty. Taken away by Beatty. And she's called for the travel.
No!
Kylie Beatty called for a travel. It'll be a turnover. There's still 5.9 seconds to go. Brian Morris will call another timeout.
Oh my God.
Boy, Beatty came away with the steal. And then as she was looking for somebody to pass, she picked it up and took 2 steps.
Man,
boy.
That was a chance that LTU would have got it, and they cost it right there.
There still is a chance. They inbounded from the other side of the half court. LTU's going to play tight man-to-man coverage. Any possibility of a takeaway, a quick last-second shot. Alexis Thomas comes back in for Aquinas. This is the game right here. They get it in. Brown is going to hold on to it, and they foul quickly. They will send Eliza Brown to the line. This will come down to one final shot.
Once Eliza Brown will have her first 2 free throws here. She's 2 for 4 in field goal attempts and also had 3-pointers.
She had no free throws or any attempts all of last year, and she nails the first one. Makes it a 2-point game. Grace Housen is going to elect to take a timeout after this final shot, depending on the result. And it goes in and out. It goes in and out. And time was taken off. We're now down to 2.7 seconds in a 2-point game. Do you elect to go for the 3, or do you try to tie it with 2?
I need to go for the 3. This needs to be crucial right here.
Boy, talk about a first game of the conference.
And it all comes down to this. Who will be the hero of the night for LTU?
Nearly a hero was Kylie Beatty. She had a key steal, and then she was called for a travel, resulting in a turnover. Then they decided to foul quickly. And lucky enough, Brown only made 1 of 2.
Talk about not giving up just yet. 2.7 and all eyes on LTU. Right now, a 3 will do it. A 2, of course, will send this game to overtime.
This is the game right here, folks. You cannot get any tighter than this. Yeah, definitely. On the call indeed. This is a nail biter. This is the game right here. They get it to Fisher. Fisher, floater opportunity, and it won't be enough. And the Saints of Aquinas pull away with the victory. They win this one 49-47. So LTU with a valiant effort after so many comebacks. They made a comeback, they took the lead in the 3rd quarter, they kept the lead, and then Aquinas battled back as they did, and they took back the lead, and then back and forth we go, back and forth, and Aquinas was able to just get enough cushion to hold on to it. And as much as LTU battled, it just came up short.
Man, it was a battle right at the end. I mean, give credit to Aquinas for putting up a great fight right toward the end. And of course, LTU, just like you said, a valiant effort, but again, comes up short.
You cannot ask for a better start to a conference play than that game right there. Despite low scoring and despite a shutout in the 1st quarter, you can still give credit to both sides. But this was a tight-knit game and a good one, definitely for both teams. So LTU will fall to 1-2 on the year, 0-1 in conference play. Aquinas improves to 3-1, and they're 1-0 in conference play. So for all of us here at LTU Sports Network, we say just hold on tight, because in a few moments, in about 25 minutes, it'll be the men's squads that are taking off and facing off against each other. And me and Jan Volker will be right back here for you on the call. So for Jan Volker and John Stowe, we will say good night, and we'll see you in a little while.